Game day.
Game day.
Flash comes out today, a movie I saw a little over a month ago in Las Vegas at CinemaCon, and I love this film. I absolutely love it. I do not think it is what some people at Warner Brothers were touting it as one of the greatest comic book films of all time. I don't think it's one of the greatest comic book films of all time, but it is great. I had a blast watching this. I cannot wait to watch it again. Despite all the drama and all the Ezra nonsense that Ezra caused, but besides all of that, the movie that Andy Muschietti made is great. Now, the question is going to be, how successful can it be? Now, I've said for a while that I have no idea how this movie is going to be received by the general audience as far as are they going to go out to see it? Because the audience has demonstrated they're really not interested in DC films right now, which is why James Gunn is going to be rebooting the whole damn thing. Also, the last couple of DC films have not performed well, have not had the best ratings, all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, this movie is great. You got Michael Keaton. And so I've said for a long time, I won't be surprised if this thing opens to $40 million. And I won't be surprised if it opens to $120 million. Because I simply have no real grasp on how big or small this will be. And, well, listen, the critic ratings for The Flash started to come out. And they're a lot lower than I thought they would be. I thought they would be in the high 80s. But as we go over and take a look at this, the Rotten Tomatoes meter right now is 68.
Wow.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Remember, 68 is not a grade. That is not a score. That's just telling us that 68% of the critics like it. So if you've got 100 critics in a room, 68 of them like it, 32 don't. So that's a huge gap. Big majority like it, but it's not as big as I thought it would be. I honestly thought this thing would be high 80s. Obviously, I didn't think it was going to be for everyone, but I expect a lot better from that. Now, you see a 95% audience score, but that's only with 50 audience members. Wait till we get to like 1,000. We'll get a better sense there. But I personally love this movie. Now, are people going to go around to see it? Well, according to reports right now, they're saying what some of the long-term projections were looks like what the short-term projections are too. They're saying about $70 million. This comes to us from Deadline to write the following. Despite a very good response out of CinemaCon, I was one of those very good responses, and DC co-boss James Gunn exclaiming that this movie is probably one of the greatest superhero movies ever made. I disagree with him on that, but it is great. Along with reports on how the movie is ready to reset the DC verse, The Flash has been sitting around a 70 to 75 million tracking for quite some time. And a little bit earlier saying, yeah, it's going to be around 70. Now, that means, give or take, could maybe open as low as 66, 67, maybe as high as 73, 74. But that's right about the ballpark where it's going to be coming in. Now, to put in a bit of context, remember, I think there's going to be a lot of filmmakers who would kill to have a movie that opened to $70 million. But in terms of the comic book era big blockbusters, and in the context of what recent DC films have done, it might be a little bit concerning. Take a look at this. These are the last, including Flash, which opens today, the last 3 DC films to open. Black Adam opened to $67 million. Now remember, that movie went on to make under $400 million and was a money loser for DC. Shazam 2, well, that movie just tanked. I like this film, but it tanked. It is, I believe, I call it the biggest single flop in the modern era, big, blockbuster comic book movies out there. It only made about $130-something million in total. Biggest flop, so it's about 30. And now with The Flash, we're looking at roughly, they're guessing 70 million, which puts it just a hair above where Black Adam. Now, just because Black Adam made that much and went on to only make under $400 million, it doesn't necessarily track the same or extrapolate the same. I believe audiences are going to like this Flash movie a lot more than they liked Black Adam. By the way, I like Black Adam too, but I think audiences are going to like this Flash movie a lot more. I think there will be stronger word of mouth. I think it will have better legs than Black Adam did. So I completely see this movie exceeding what Black Adam did at the box office. But still, 70, not bad, but certainly they were hoping for better with big positive word of mouth, with the return of Michael Keaton and all that kind of stuff. So how will this movie ultimately do? We're going to have to wait and find out. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, MasterClass. With MasterClass, you can learn from the world's best minds anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace. You can learn filmmaking from James Cameron himself, you know, the guy who made 3 of the 4 biggest films of all time. Improve your writing by taking screenwriting from one of the greatest who's ever done it, Aaron Sorkin. Or maybe learn how to make great comedic content by taking comedy by the one and the only Judd Apatow. And many of you guys know I'm a big poker guy, and I recently got a chance to sit down and watch Daniel Negreanu, one of the greatest poker players in the world, teach poker. It was absolutely fantastic. But guys, whatever you're interested in, there is a class for you with over 180 exclusive classes taught by the instructors you know and love. And you can explore lessons in any order you'd like, across your phone, tablet, Apple TV, computer, and on the go with audio mode. Individual lessons range from about 10 to 15 minutes in length that fit easily into your everyday life. Guys, I highly recommend you check it out. Get unlimited access to every class, and as a John Campea Show listener, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/Campea now. That's masterclass.com/Campea for 15% off Masterclass. Guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? Is roughly a 70 million opening, if that's indeed what it gets, is that right around where you thought it would be? Is it more than you thought it would be? Is it maybe, like a lot of people, is a lot less than you thought it would be? And how do you think word of mouth is going to play in here? Do you think that despite the fact that it's opening right around where Black Adam opened, that it's destined to have the same Black Adam fate? Or do you think it could have much better word of mouth like I do and really exceed Black Adam? But even then, how much? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks for checking out our video. Make sure you click the thumbs up button on it and subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget that we do a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast. Go and subscribe to it today on your favorite podcasting app of choice.